と借金の取り立てですか。それでしたら。
借金の、でも弟子を取ったらって。
細々。ああ。
え
ええ、確かにそんなこともありました。それを見かねた土門は信号をはも。
実に面白い。その当事者である弟は、悔しい思いをした兄は鍛錬を重ね、土門の愛弟子との試合に勝利し、その腕を証明した。
傭兵がそう言ったのですか？鍛錬を重ねるなど全くもって嘘です。毎日ゴロゴロと横になり、ただ愚痴をこぼすのが鍛錬だとでも言うのでしょうか。しかし傭兵は確かに慎吾が試合に勝ったと言っていたような気もします。私はそれを真に受けなかったので真偽は定かではありませんが。
おさん。ん？
そうそうそういう。
ああ、最初明鏡止水流に挑むなんて聞いた時は冗談かと思ったよ。あの剣はまるで流れる水のように滑らかで、それでありながら慎吾って。ああ、試合に勝った後
他には何かないか？慎吾の性格が
前よりも勤勉になったかな。昔は一日中横になって日向ぼっこしてたのに。それに昨日村長のために木の伐採を手伝っているのを見た。
ほう、それは。
だがこの間妙なことがあったんだ。
宮司様、それに
もっと面白い話を聞きたかったの。
皆さん、
あれが傭兵のお兄さんか？
寒い
さあ感じるんだ。モンパを設立するだと実
もう勘弁してください。お願いし、もうダメです。このままでは死んでしまいます。傭兵。
おい、聞いたか？よくわからないけど助けを求めてるぞ。
何やつ？
立ち上がった。
来るな、助けてください。
どうするんだよミコ、早く。
おやおや、傭兵。汝の兄はもう虫の息。最後わらわの目には慎吾は汝に大きな恨み。
知りません。私は
知らぬじゃと。汝の傭兵、よう考えて話すことじゃ。最も身近な者の様子がかようにおかしくなれば、じゃがわらわに助けを求めに来たのはことが起きて5日も経っ。
私は。
そうか、本当のことじゃが、慎吾が死した後は汝の番。たとえ地の果てまで逃げようとも、あやつは汝の背後につきまとうじゃろ。
話します。何でも言います。私と兄はまじないで願い事をしたんです。そうです。最近巷で流行っているそれです。私と兄は本に書いてあった通り陣を書き、真夜中に裸足でその中に立ちました。そして兄は剣術家になることを願い、これまでなかった剣の才能を手に入れました。しかし同時にそれは兄がしかしそれでは我々の流派を立ち上げるという計画が頓挫してしまいます。そうなれば私たちは一生貧しいじ
ゃあなんで。
兄があのような状態では 何か触れてはならぬ禁術を使ったのではと噂。でも宮司様であれば剣の才を残したまま兄を元に。
たわけが、それで丸く収まるとでも。そんなものは愚かな妄想に過ぎぬ。あやつが
はい、申し訳ございませんでした。
もうよい。さて、ここからは汝の出番じゃ。わっぱよ、塩を巻いて剣を抜く。
化け物。
よく見るんじゃ。あれこそが汝らのおびき寄せたもの。慎吾の意識はもうないぞ。
お助けを。お助け。
気絶したぞ。
どうもせぬ、わっぱ。奴と戦ってく。
貴様も武にいざ尋常に勝負せる。
来たぞ。気をつけ。
お主のこの
剣女盤石。や天道ここにあり。
私のお家にいらっしゃ。
稲光、すなわち永遠なり。見切りました。
いいこんなにも痛快なのは久方ぶりであった。
消えた。なんかおいらもうわけ。
この件に
兄さん、もう大丈夫なのか。傭兵、なんだか俺は夢を見て、夢の中で俺は剣術が上達していて、これでやっと道場が開けると思った矢先、体が思うように動かなくなった。自分の体を取り戻そうにも何もできず、恐怖で胸が締め付け。兄さん、やっぱり願い事を。
その通りじゃ。わらわたちが手を貸していなければ汝は命を失って。
宮司様、本当にありがとうございます。
もうよい。兄を連れ帰り休ませてやれ。これから高熱が出るじゃろうが、命に支障。よこしまな方法で自らに属さぬ力を手に入れようとすれば、どのような結末。
はい、承知しております。ありがとうございました。では先に失礼。
ミコ、もしオイラたちがそんな深刻なことなのに。
もちろんこのくらい脅しておかねば怠け者のあやつらは改心し。
じゃあ
これまでの経験で汝らもあれに取り付いていたのがどんな例か分かっておるじゃろ。
オイラわかったぞ。
そうじゃ。慎吾の体に取り付いてはおったが悪意はなかった。むしろ慎吾の肝を鍛えておったくらいじゃ。
なんだ、そうだったの。
わらわたちが塩をまいたことで一時的に慎吾の、たとえわらわたちが放っておいたとしても少しすれば慎吾の体は弱まり、ただそれじゃと慎吾と傭兵はもう少し苦しむことになっておったがの。
何は。
さあ、これで一件落着じゃ。
ちょっと待ってミコ、一件落着って本当にそう思ってるのか。
そうではないの。ふむ、あやつらが使ったまじないの書かれた本のことじゃな。それならわらわも知っておる。
実は今日そのことについて聞きたくてお前のところに来たんだ。その本に書いてあるおまじないが今稲妻ですごく流行ってるらしいんだよ。
人間はわらわたちあやかしのように法力があるわけではない。まじないや怪異など
大事なところはそこじゃなくて、それに書かれたおまじないが本当に霊とか魂を呼び寄せてるってとこだ。もう
残念じゃが人間の力には限界がある。たとえまじないを使って霊魂を呼んだとしても、 そう長くは体に取り付くことはない。大事には至らぬはずじゃ。
だったらその本は誰が何のために書いたんだ？これってこの先も人に害を与えるものなんじゃないのか？お前はどう思う？そうだよな。傭兵と慎吾は無事だったけど、体に取り付くって聞いただけでもゾッとするぞ。
八重様、ここにいたのですね。
黒田、どうしてここへ？
今月の八重堂の売り上げを報告しに参りました。こちらが小説の売り上げです。内容は
どれどれ。何？売り上げ1位の座が奪われたじゃと？
はい、総合売り上げ、読者が選ぶ一番好きな小説、流行番付、どれも1位の座を奪われ、すべて
わっぱよ、こっちへ来い。
どうしたんだ？そんな顔。
新生探麗筆記の人気が全体的に八重堂の小説を超えてそんなこととは何じゃ。わらわが苦労し押してきた力作があの本に何か対策を考えねばならぬ。
なんで
パイモン、汝はさっきこの本は誰が稲妻の人々の安否に関わることは汝らにと
すごく筋は通ってる。
気のせいじゃ。わらわは先に戻
ミコ来たぞ。それで新生探麗筆記の対策を練るにしても、これからどうするつもりなんだ？
ふむ、当ててみるがよい。解決の糸口は八重堂と関係。ほう、まさかこんなにも早く。外れを言うとはの。
違うのか？
新生探麗筆記は今や稲妻で最も流行しておる娯楽小説じゃ。わらわたちが労して忠告しても結局は好奇心が勝り、試す輩が増えるじゃろう。そうすればこの
それじゃあダメだな。
はあ、一冊の娯楽小説のためにそのような騒ぎを起こせば人や資源を無駄に費や。
だったら
いいや、新生探麗筆記はわらわも読んだ。まじないの古今東西のあらゆる怪談について熟練の手法で物語。もしここ最近の娯楽小説の中でそれをそう流行にとって変わるのは、つまり我らたちで新た正々堂々と売り上げで相手を倒し、それにこの方法を使えば新生探麗筆記の
ちょっと待った。
もちろんさっきも言ったが、とにかく一通り情報が揃ったら右遊亭に。
Yai Publishing House has held many writers' submission events. The winner gets a huge amount of publicity. It's been the ticket to fame for a lot of authors. If you've got a good idea for a story, you definitely don't want to miss out.
The key to a successful light novel is having good illustration. When to use illustrations, what they should contain, and which artist you should commission for them. Good illustrations can make up for bad writing. But on the flip side, a bad illustration can ruin your novel, even if you have the best story in the world. There's a saying that light novels are essentially a case of buy art, get words free. I'd agree with that. Too bad most of the top artists have jam-packed schedules, so it's extremely difficult to commission them. The illustrations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits are incredible, but it's unlike any art style I've ever seen before.
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into big, ambitious fantasy works with an original core concept and good storytelling. These days, though, everyone seems to be imitating each other. Most of the time, I can guess what the story is about just from the title. The only recent book worth mentioning is A First-Hand Guide to... Not only is it a good story, but the descriptions are really true to life. So much so that I'm almost wondering if maybe the author really has met all those yokai before.
I'll be honest, I read light novels for the cheap thrills. In most traditional stories, the protagonist usually has this long and drawn-out character arc, usually involving a process of separation, loss, and ultimately growth and renewed strength. It reads well and everything. It's just, by contrast, the protagonist is a kitsune who has not only mastered the secret art of incantations, but also tea ceremony, painting, and calligraphy.
There's much more to light novels than Paimon realized. Let's go tell our findings to Yai Miko.
Wind rises. Too slow.
Ah, there you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Junkichi's working through a creative lull at the moment. Satomi is Yai Publishing House's ace in the hole. Her specialty is that she can write all kinds of completely different stories and all under different pen names. As for what those names are, well, that's a trade secret. They will be teaming up with us to collectively create the novel that knocks A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits off its perch. So, feeling better about...
It definitely...
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers. All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. This is the formula that will guarantee good sales numbers. More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of realism.
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about? For example, we know we need an original core concept, but how do we come up with one?
Before you can answer that question, you have to understand your target audience. Take A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the kitsune. But to the general public, it's bursting with new and interesting ideas. It all comes down to the size of the information gap between author and reader. As a traveler, there must be a great many things you know that are complete unknowns to the people of Inazuma. What is commonplace to you may be fresh and original to them.
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from our time in Mondstadt and Lille. But that would make it a completely different genre than A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. Is that gonna be a problem?
Not at all. You don't have to worry so much about how to compete with that book. All you have to do is provide some interesting ideas based on your travel experiences. As long as the core content is interesting, my expert team here will be able to flesh out the details.
Alright, let's start with Chapter 1 then. What are you thinking? No one would ever go for that, no matter how you tried to play it.
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9. Is there really flying emergency food in other worlds? How does it taste? And how do you cook it? It's a strong opening, an easy way to grab the reader's attention. Never underestimate the appeal of culinary-oriented subject matter. Food, after all, is a topic that everyone is interested in.
Hey!
Good job, little one. You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've read in the past. I think you really understand what we're trying to do here. Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept if I'm not careful, so this deals with that problem.
That's good. Okay, we're done with Chapter 1. Let's move on to Chapter 2.
Won't that do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the goods now we've caught their attention, all our hard work so far is in vain. Hurry, Chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence. Writer's block. It's your arch-nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back.
Sounds awful!
When this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a proper break. Boss, get me a plate of fried tofu, and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do. Don't worry, this is my treat.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Alright, cool. Then let's press on, shall we? Don't give up now, for the sake of our paycheck, get your brain going! Ooh! Does this mean your inspirations come back? Now, the protagonist arrives in Liyue and befriends a young man who doesn't have the money to pay for anything. Only later do we find out that this young man is none other than Rex Lapis himself. With the help of the Qixing and the protection of the Adepti, I am free to roam this vast realm. Is this the kind of cheap thrill that guy was talking about?
I give it a 9.8. The story is fun and action-packed with no dark undertones. Also, there are a great many legends about Rex Lapis. I'm sure it will spark the people's curiosity. I, for one, think there's a sizable market for this. Approved.
Alright, well, let's just hope Zhang Li doesn't mind.
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Leave it to me, Lady Yai.
Let's write about Inazuma in the 3rd chapter, shall we? I can help with this one. We can use the Vision Hunt Decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas? Clearly very closely based on your own personal experience. That's fine. Since it's something that took place in Inazuma. One thing, though. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell.
Whoa. So we're really going head to head with our rival on this one, huh?
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirits?
The content is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact an artist to make some illustrations. I'm positive they will be at least as good as those in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book. I can get the wonderful Ms. Hina to write that. She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma absolutely adore her. You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yai Publishing House at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation. Once our light novel is complete, let's meet at the writer's submission event.
Squall and Fury.
Miss Hina doesn't usually do endorsements, but since it's Lady Guji that's asking, we'll see what we can do. With Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collaboration. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to readers' letters, and turns down every promotional opportunity she can. Maybe that's why her fans like her so much. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from Miss Hina, you'll definitely get an exposure boost at the beginning. May your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yai Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
Everything is going smoothly, just as I planned.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence. Quit following me.
Behold!
Are you sure you'd like to submit this entry? Let me see. The miraculous...
What a strange pen name.
What do you mean?
We'll get this printed as a...
Uh-oh. Paimon's kidding.
That's right.
Okay, then I'll sign... Thank you all for your submission.
too slow. You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
You've all good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple... This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them.
Oh yeah! The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway. Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has already moved on, hasn't it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at midnight, and your wish will come true!
Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations.
The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus! But what's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line. All right, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
There's a phase 2?
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah, if we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki. But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book. Yes, this is another case of possession. After his
But the spirit...
Simple. And you, my little friend, are the Oh.
following me.
Miko.
The ideal spot for a little meet and greet with a certain elusive author. This is the...
Really? But it feels...
That seems rather fitting, considering that we are dealing with the spirits. What are you so afraid of, honestly? We're finally about to meet the true author of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Paimon's heart is pounding, but Paimon's pretty... Hey! Wait up! Oh, Paimon's scared. Stay close by, okay? Don't leave Paimon all alone! What a weird painting. Miko, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Probably a scene.
It's a good piece of artwork and all. Looks like the artist signed...
Let's go inside and take a look. Right now. Right here.
Squall and Fury, that's far enough! Unsightly insects!
Emerge. Right here. Right now.
Wow, this place is huge! Hey, is that a mirror? There's a really weird-looking stool as well. Wonder what it's for.
Ah, I see. Huh. This setup is quite handy. Saves me a lot of work. All right, go and take a look around. There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move. Ha! Emerge. Right now. Emerge.
Everyone hold hands!
Right here. Right now. Emerge.
I see everything! There's more! Everyone hold hands!
How's this?
Yeah.
To the berry, to the berry.
What's one more?
Grow, grow, grow! Sharing my knowledge!
Ready! This!
Right now. Emerge. A sight to behold.
Fall before me!
Yeah.
This will do!
Right here. Right now.
Behold! Ha! Good job! Ha! Ah! Ha!
You win this battle.
here. Nothing lasts forever.
Order guide you.
Hey!
Right now.
Ha! There is no escape!
Emerge. Hit. Right here. Emerge. Right now. Right here.
The wind rises. Squall and Fury. Behold! Quit following me.
I see everything!
You got.
Emerge. Right here.
Solidify.
Such a pain.
Whoa! It's the painting we just saw! It's turning this way along with the whole wall! It's getting eerier and scarier!
Okay. Next, I will show you a secret kitsune spell. This painting is a swift summoning medium, which means I'll be able to skip. The murky mirror reflects the view of Inazuma in a bygone age. Spirits stirred by the sight of the past will be easily drawn to it. You're up next, little one. Come on, sit yourself down here. Yes. The whole point of a summoning ritual is for a dead person's spirit to possess a living person's body. You saw what happened to that.
Are we positive that summoning...
Oh, you really care about the little one quite a lot, don't you? I'm a little jealous. I wish my friends were caring like that. Anyway, are you scared, little friend? Don't you worry now, it'll be over soon. Just think of it like having a dream. Sit on the chair, stare at the painting, and relax your body and mind. Try and be natural. There's really no need to be nervous.
It's like he's sitting inside the painting. Huh? Is Paimon...
Recite the incantation in your heart, little one. Also, you'll need to... Now, what kind of wish do we think it would take to summon forth the author of...
Probably...
Very good. The wish needs to be heartfelt, though, so let me... The book is selling exceptionally well, Traveler, but we're going to need an outline for Chapter 4 as soon as humanly possible. When is the earliest that you can turn it in by?
The painting is moving again!
I never thought the day would... What have we here? Another budding writer? What's come over you?
We got you! So you were the one who wrote a... What are you trying to do, Why'd you put that summoning incantation in the book, huh?
Huh? What's this? Oh, I see. No wonder this felt so familiar. I've walked right into your trap, haven't I? You ask me what my game is here? Well, of course. It was to use this incantation as a means for all the souls of the departed yokai to make their glorious return to the world and plunge all...
What? Paimon knew it!
Oh, did you now? Then I sense, yes, great power within him. Good. Good! With this power, no one shall be able to stand in my way.
Wake up! Quick! Wake up! We gotta...
It is futile. You shall never wake him again. This body now belongs to me.
Hey! Come on, wake up! Don't let him take your mind! Miko, think of something! Miko! You're laughing?
Oh, Rakusai, you haven't changed a bit. You caught on so quickly. Too perfect.
Well, you made the face enough times that I couldn't exactly miss the hint. This is what you were going for, yes? Never one to stand on the sidelines of a good spectacle, are you? Always got to dive in and fan the flames, huh? You mischievous little kitsune, you. Look what you've done to this little flying one here. Oh, poor thing scared witless.
You were having plenty of fun playing the bad guy a moment ago. Now you're trying to blame it all on me?
Rakusai? Miko, you guys know each other?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Allow me to formally introduce the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirit. No, wait. To be more accurate, it's Urakusai's
Memory? But it...
Ah, spirits, memories. They're just different words to describe the same thing. Something that comes from the ley lines.
Do you remember that recent incident when the Rift Hounds were gnawing at the sacred Sakura's roots? You witnessed human memories leaking from the ley lines, didn't you? Well, since there are human memories, of course there are going to be yokai memories too. In life, yokai possess supernatural powers, and even when they are a shadow of their former selves from a bygone era, they still have the ability to control whether they are visible or not. Typically, yokai memories survive longer in the world than those of humans.
Indeed, indeed. I was wandering around the sacred Sakura's roots when I suddenly heard someone yelling, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." It piqued my curiosity, so I popped inside his body and wrote a novel for him.
So that's how it happened. But why did you include a summoning incantation in the novel?
Oh, little one. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I was alive, I wasn't just another kitsune, no. I was a mighty and powerful Daiuko. The memories of other yokai can't possess human bodies at will like I can. But with this incantation, they can go one last little joyride in the world for a couple of days. Anything they're still itching to do, they can go and get it done.
But...
She's trying to say that all the commotion this causes is likely to be a great disturbance.
Disturbance? I guess you mean that we might leave them with some broken dreams after we leave, hmm? Oh, yes. And they might have a fever or whatever. But you know, I actually think that the most admirable thing about human beings is the way that they go out and shape their fate with their own. As for those who would rather draw on external power than seek to improve themselves, it's quite right that they learn their lesson eventually. So when you think about it, we're actually doing the humans a big favor.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
All right then. You finally convinced Pine.
What are you scared of, little one? Don't be deceived by her day-to-day antics. Miko is actually one of the most powerful yokai out there.
Not only that, Irakusai, but my latest work has beaten that book you wrote, A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, to become the most popular in Inazuma.
Of course. You were always the one to pick a quarrel with me when we all used to gather around and share stories. All right. You win, I lose. Happy now?
Ha! I finally get to hear you say it centuries later. Ooh, I must say it feels good. Oh, Urakusai, how much time do you...
Not much. Everyone's quite content in many ways, but they still can't help but ask, are we ever going to...
When my bell rings, it means the moonless night is upon us.
Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. Miko, it's been nice catching up, but I'd better conserve my energy if I want to stick it out until then. So, I'll be on my way now.
All right. Goodbye then, Urakusai.
One last thing, Miko. I just want to know, have you been well all these years?
I've been great, of course. Every day is a happy one. Especially these days. Not only do I have my light novels, but I've also met these two delightfully nosy outlanders. And even A is finally starting to come to her senses. Quite a miracle, given how pig-headed she can be.
Oh, well, great. That's fantastic.
Urakusai, you'd be right at home in this era. A great storyteller and artist like yourself would be the Yae publishing house.
He disappeared. Are you awake? How are you feeling?
Are you all there? Here, like last time, repeat after me. Oh, you beat me to it. Looks like your brain is intact. So, your first possession, What was it like? Good. Saves me from having to explain everything again. Hearing Rakusai admit defeat has put me in the most wonderful mood. In return, it's only yes. Though they only represent a tiny proportion of the memories in the ley lines, it will still be quite... Since you've come this far, why don't you...
You cannot be serious, Miko! Huh. You guys teamed up to scare Paimon just now. If you think...
Aw, come on. I'm really only asking you to finish what you started. Besides, your paychecks are still in my hands.
Paimon's paycheck? Well, there's no way out now. We're in too deep.
Spawn Fury.
Well, hello there, my little helpers. So nice.
As if we had a choice. We just want... So, Miko, what exactly do... Also, to be clear, we actually have...
It might sound ominous, but to put it simply, the Hyakyako back in the day at yokai gatherings, once everyone had had plenty to drink, one by one they'd start soaring into the sky with their yokai powers. There were so many of them that their silhouettes... But now, the yokai memories that leak from the ley lines are weak, so I will be performing a convocation ritual for them, gathering all the... When the time comes, they will gather in the sky above. All the preparations for the ritual have actually been made well in advance.
Oh, yeah! Something about reciting the...
That's the one. Actually, it's not a wish-granting in... When that time comes, let's all pitch in and help send them. I will start the ritual preparations shortly. First, tell the Shrine Maiden during the Hyakyako, a whole swarm of yokai memories will be hanging around in the air above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Having the Shrine Maidens leave avoids the bothersome issue of someone... After that, I will commence the ritual, and the memories will begin to congregate. This will take some time. The memories are normally dispersed and don't pose a threat. They may see this as an opportunity to try and make it up the mountain. I need...
All right, got it.
Well, if at that point you felt like coming to the shrine and getting a close-up view of the yokai, I wouldn't say no.
Okay, let's get going.
Descend the mountain.
Yep, Miko's...
I see.
We'll be taking care of a couple other things.
It seems like Lady Guji. Lady Guji's never allowed anyone else to be in her presence. Thank you for helping with...
Don't worry, Miko's about to start the ritual. Come on, let's go deal with the monsters down the mountain. These monsters look really riled up. Yep, let's get rid of them as fast. All right, here they come.
I will have order.
The wind rises. Know your place. Squall and fury. Upon the gale. Wretched vermin.
What a lucky day. Go perfect there. Boom.
Got him.
Feel my blade.
Behold.
There's so many of them! Come on, you can do it!
Solidify. Don't hold back.
Squall and fury. Bow your head.
Alright, that's the last of the monsters!
You dare to gaze upon me?
How far along do you think the ritual is? Let's head back to the Grand Nerve.
The wind rises.
So many! They're everywhere! Huh?
Yes, the memories of the yokai. They haven't been able to relax and soar through the air like this for a long time. Come with me. You all right, little one? You look a little nervous.
It's just, Hyman's never seen anything like this before! Whoa, they've really blocked out the moon!
It does look a little intimidating, doesn't it? But I know them. They may be loud and brash at times, but they are good and brave souls. Even after losing their lives in a brutal war, they have never given in to grief or despair. Alas, their time is short.
Do they really have to go?
It's a feast, and all feasts come to an end. Since you're sorry to see them leave, why don't you do the recital along with me? O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment, in reverence I perform this rite.
In reverence, I perform this rite.
To be a guiding light.
Wow,
Recite the secret spells of Lady Kitsune tonight, and our wishes will come true.
Oh, Hakushin, cause of this enchantment.
I perform this rite to be a guiding light.
Your unrivaled power will be honored eternally.
Urakusai, you asked if I was doing well. Really, every day is a happy day for me. But watching you all leave now, I can't help but feel a little lonely. Just a little, of course. Just as I thought. The ritual went very smoothly. Thank you. Oh, I'm great.
But the look on your face just now...
I'm fine, seriously. Really, No. Honestly, you two.
Miko...
Fine. Well, if you're dead set on doing something for me, you can treat me to a meal.
Sure, no problem. A meal it is.
Okay. Well, see you soon then.
Today is the day we agreed to treat Miko to a meal. The venue is...
Quit following me. Squall and fury.
Oh, wait is unbearable. How is the next chapter of the miraculous adventures of the Traveler not released yet?
It was quite a surprise when the moonless night finally came.
Yeah, that huge black cloud over Mount Yogo that night.
But then nothing happened after I made a wish using the method in that book.
Yeah. I guess light novels are just fiction.
That night was definitely the nail in the coffin for the incantations from novels fad. Still, something tells me the miraculous adventures of the Traveler will...
Huh? Paimon can't see Miko anywhere. Guess she's not out here.
Too slow.
My little friends. There you are.
Miko, what is this?
I did, yes. You're paying after all. The thought of being able to eat the most expensive dishes and drink the finest sake, all for absolutely free? Oh, I just couldn't wait any longer. Boss, see these two faces here? Remember them. They're the ones picking up the bill later.
Alrighty.
What's gotten into you? Come on, sit yourselves down. You have to try this fish. It's found exclusively in the waters around Seirai Island. They shipped it to Inazuma overnight, and it was still alive right up until I ordered it. Or maybe you'd rather try this? I know. I normally can't bring myself to drink sake this expensive either. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine too. There are all kinds of fruit juices covering the whole price spectrum.
Miko! You are outrageous! Last time we were here working on the novel, all you ordered for us was the plainest kushikatsu!
Strange. I remember no such thing. Oh, so what? You did offer to treat me to a meal, didn't you? Anyway, I am something of a VIP, you know. Wouldn't you find it embarrassing to treat me anything short of lavishly?
Miko, this meal is going to be super expensive! Aren't you afraid we won't be able to afford it?
Oh, don't you worry about that. You can most definitely afford it.
What? Aw, darn it! She tricked us into this! Miko Shingo was after our Mora from the very beginning!
Oh, the looks on your faces right now. Too perfect. Oh, by the way, since nobody's wishes came true on the moonless night, novels with incantations are no longer in vogue. So you'll have to come up with something new for the next chapter of The Miraculous Adventures of the deadline is looming. I'm counting on you.
We've been to so many places lately. What do you say we take a day off from adventuring and just find somewhere nice to relax? Let Paimon think. Where are some nice places we could go? Oh, why don't we pay Cloud Retainer a visit at Mount Outsong? It's been a while since we last saw that illuminated bird. She's always the one popping up out of nowhere and scaring us half to death. So let's surprise her this time.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with...
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar... I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind.
Mind your tone, mister!
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please, introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, Okay. Sorry.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question, but I'm confident in my plan. Of course, two different...
How do you plan to...
A great question. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for...
Nice answer.
He seems like a great guy.
Here's my take on what as you saw. But Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more but he and Shenwei are otherwise polar opposites.
Perfect summary.
Last but not least, Jur-E. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide.
Great!
We'll see.
The wind rises. Too slow. Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow.
All right.
Oh, those three candidates? But Shenwei...
Whoa! So how...
Shenwei was a first... We first met while Jury came from... He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So, I started out giving him a few words of advice when we... Quite. And now, the young are...
I don't know, Uncle.
Oh, you.
Sounds like you
Ooh, there's nothing...
Fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? When we've been fishing recently, that flavor makes for a fond memory.
Ooh, can
Let's get back to...
Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your fight. Remember.
Understood. Come on.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. So, it's his manifesto...
Easy.
Huh?
No, nothing like... The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to own... For example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your...
Did they scare you? As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information.
That meathead must have been...
Nothing.
Shanghua, visit all...
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri. Well, obviously. Let's go to the docks first.
If we're looking for him, he does business. Remember the first time we came here? And when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. Paimon thought she'd be impossible to get along. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty... Huh? Traveler? Did something catch... Whoa. What a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer? Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Want helping you make more... Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, madam?
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has this shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But you look... human! How did that happen?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're...
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place! In fact, Paimon can think of several examples... Hey, didn't we agree not to bring the...
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all.
Well?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shen...
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew...
Is that... If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so that...
Sounds great! Then let's all go to...
Shenhe has also secured employment recently. In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she... Did they think one was so easily mollified? One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion. Hey, do you think... Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember to inquire as to her recent well-being. Again, do not mention one's presence here.
Fair enough. Makes sense. All right then, we'll just pass on your regards and...
Cloud Retainer?
Oh,
busted.
Is that lady someone? She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe my schedule today is quite full. Although, perhaps I could move some work to later in the evening.
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu. I'll make the necessary...
Thank you, Huixin.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
you are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One is simply a mere mortal passerby.
Huh?
Seems she's not buying it.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
An apt observation. One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would only be fitting to pay you a visit while in the area.
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important... Cloud Retainer's right! We've still got...
Oh, is that so? But it's...
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find yourself less occupied.
I understand. That should be fine.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you...
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and every story. Why don't you continue your conversation? One shall...
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the... Also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown, Cloud Retainer is surely too recognizable as a name.
You really think so? Not that you're...
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible. Nevertheless, Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Shenyun.
Shenyun?
Ah, I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An Adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
Not exactly.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today. The books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately,
That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely with one ought, and even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you. So it was Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before. You're not too mad, are you?
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world. Why would one be offended by such a trivial matter?
That's a relief. In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed time off during Lantern Rite?
That is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Xiangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Xiangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. One has no cause to believe that they will make Shenhe's work difficult. Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how Shenhe is doing.
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion to dine together in the future. One is certain the opportunity shall present itself most readily.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you around, Ganyu! Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
Huh. She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because we just heard that cool story about her powers?
Relax. Slow. The wind rises. Squall and Fury. Quit following me.
Huh? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not